What's going on, everyone, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. This is my FM19 beta save. It is with, of course, Liverpool FC. Now, I know this is quite a popular team amongst FM creators for the beta save, but it appealed to me on a number of levels, mainly just because Liverpool, I think this season, it could well be their year. I think they are the biggest challengers, should I say, to Man City's title. They've recruited well over the summer. They already had a great squad, and I think they've made it even better. And yeah, I think it's just going to be an exciting challenge to see whether we can indeed topple Man City. Firstly, if we have a look at the signings, I think that will probably be the thing that people want to see most. Not too much business done, in all honesty. If we have a look, only one deal in. I'll talk about that in a sec. But a couple of deals out. Markovic, the forgotten man of Liverpool, really. He has moved on finally. He went to Eintracht Frankfurt for a fee of 6.5 million. And Divock Origi went to AC Milan, slightly cheaper than I would have liked. We only got about 10 million for him. Obviously, you can see he's valued at 25.5 million now, but with a number of players in that position, with the likes of Firmino probably going to be first choice, and Sturridge and Solanke, I think Origi was probably one man too many, so we decided to move him on. And the only player we've bought in over the summer is Stefan Al-Shawari. Now, Liverpool have a number of wingers, but we didn't really have anyone that was natural on the left-hand side. I know Mane tends to play there in real life. On this game, Mane prefers to play the same side as Salah. Now, obviously, I know you don't have to play them the same side, but it would have been nice to have someone a bit more natural over that left-hand side. So I've recruited El Shaarawy. He did cost a lot, 48.5 million. That was my entire transfer budget, more or less. But he's come in and he's got some good stats. As you can see, he's good finishing, good first touch. Likes to play as that inside forward, same role that Salah likes to play. So it gives me options from the left-hand side. If we have a look at the squad, I've got three goalies. Obviously, Alisson is going to be the main man. Mignolet just there as a backup. And I like to have a third choice. Obviously, Karius is now out on loan at Besiktas, so we've just got one of the youngsters in. And I've got a couple of youth players in the squad. Players like Liam Coyle. He is a defensive-minded midfielder. We are going to play a defensive midfielder in my tactic. Again, didn't have too many players that are natural in that position, so I just wanted to flesh it out a little bit. I did try and get another defensive midfielder in the summer. I was looking at one Casemiro from Real Madrid, but after I blew my budget on El Shaarawy, Casemiro was not a likelihood at all. They wanted like at least 50 million for him. But again, we have got players that can play in that role. And then with the wingers as well, you've got like a plethora of players there that can play on the wing. Again, Leo Miller, a youth player, just to flesh out a little bit. Shaqiri, I don't really rate him that much. I tried to move him on in the summer, as you can see, he's transfer listed. But FM with that, the way they do things, if a player has just come into the team in real life and it's their first season at the club, then like no one is ever interested in them. So it was impossible to sell him. Lalana, strangely, I noticed was worth 50 million, but he's more comfortable central. So anyway, we've got plenty of players in the squad, and it is a good squad at that. But yeah, the plans for this team really was just to try and just strengthen in any way possible. Really, I think we've done that with the addition of El Shaarawy. I think he is a good option to have, and he fits into the tactic nicely. So if we have a look at the tactics, again, this is what I'm going to go with this year. I'm not using the gegenpress, using control possession. I have started an offline save using a control possession tactic. Not this one. I've opted for the 4-2-3-1, and that's worked really well. So this one slightly fits Liverpool more to what they play in real life. So this is what I've gone for. As you can see, this is the team I'm going to go with today in the first game of the season. I'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, not the gegenpress as you would have expected. Although there are certain elements of this that that Liverpool play as well and involved in the gegenpress, so it shouldn't be too bad. If you have a look at the friendlies, done well in pre-season, Tour of America, as you can see, some results not quite what I would have liked. But the problem was with the squad, a lot of the players were still on leave from the World Cup. Given extended leave, obviously you have players like Henderson, for example, Lovren who got to the final, all given extended leave. So as you can see, we had pretty much a first team available, but then it got to the subs and they were all just full of under 18s. And players started to pick up injuries. Ronaldo picked up injury. Moreno picked up an injury. So if we look further down, as you can see, all proper under 18s. Lallana had an injury as well. Sturridge got injured at one point. So we were picking up injuries and we didn't have many players as well. So it really made things a bit difficult to try and rotate and get the proper fitness really into the players. But it wasn't too bad a summer for us. Obviously, as you can see, we got Tottenham away, a massive game, the first game of the season coming up in the episode. But if we have a quick look at the board expectations as well, the competition. So we were expected to finish second in the league this year, but they only want us to qualify for the Champions League. So that gives us a little bit of leeway. As long as we're in and around the top four, we should be fine, and I'm comfortable that I can achieve that. They want us to get to the FA Cup final. I've never really been that bothered about cup competitions, but obviously this year I'm going to have to change that. Carabao Cup, they don't really care. But yeah, FA Cup reached the final and they want us to get to the semi-final of the Champions League. Now that draw isn't done until the 18th or so we're not going to see that today. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next episode, whether I'm going to do it like I normally do and bring you it every few games, or whether we're going to try and crack on a little bit with the season and come to you at a later date. But yeah, semi-final of the Champions League. Reached the final last year, of course, only to be beaten by Real Madrid. It's certainly going to be a tough task, and hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. But anyway, enough babbling. Quite a long introduction. Let's bring you today's game, the first game of the season, and it is going to be against Spurs. Now, the team we've gone for Alisson in goal in that sweeper keeper role. I should note as well, these roles are what suggested by the tactics. Sorry, so I've stuck with most of them. A couple of them I've changed, but it looks like all the players are fairly comfortable in those roles. So I'm going to stick with it, and obviously if I need to make changes, I will do. So Alisson's going to be in that sweeper keeper role. Klein is going to start at right back. Alexander-Arnold not quite as fit as I would like him to be, so he only had I think one game if pre-season. So Klein's going to start this one at right back. Andy Robertson's going to be left back, and my first choice pairing at centre back this year is going to be Van Dijk and Joe Gomez. Lovren and Matip are certainly capable deputies, but they're both still not quite fit. Henderson, Captain Jordan Henderson, seems to be like Marmite, this man. Either people love him or hate him. Seems to come in for a lot of criticism. Excuse me. But he's going to play defensive midfield role in that half-back position. That's what came with the tactic, and Henderson can seem to play there fairly comfortably. In the middle, I've opted for Fabinho and Keita. Again, Fabinho probably a little bit more further forward than he's accustomed to, but he can play that role, and Keita as a Mazzala has worked really well in pre-season. Salah's going to start on the right hand side. He's going to be inside forward. El Shaarawy, I'm going to give him the start. He's played well pre-season, as you can see down there. Mane is on the bench. So I'm going to put faith in El Shaarawy, but of course we know we've got a capable backup if we need one. And Roberto Firmino, probably more comfortable as a pressing forward. Well, he seems to be sort of can play any of the forward roles. So complete forward is what I've gone with. It seems to have worked so far. So anyway, that's all the talking done. Let's play the first game of the season. Spurs opted for a 4-2-3-1 then, and this guy was actually one player I was looking at getting in this summer as a backup for the defensive midfield role, but then as soon as I added him to my shortlist a couple of days later, it said Spurs had gone in for him anyway. Not a great scout report, as you can tell. Would have been a good Premier League player, but I think some of his stats, especially in that defensive midfield role, his tackling, his marking, he's got a good aggression, good bravery. I think he would have been, regardless of the scout report, I think he would have been a good option in there, but alas, not to be. Um, but as you can tell, Kane up front, as we would expect. Dangerous front three. Son with his pace. Moura has had a good start, and Ericsson as well. We know the threat that he holds. So it's going to be a tough test. And they've got options on the bench as well. Plenty of debuts in the side for us. So let's see how the game goes. So then we kick off at the beginning of this game from left to right. A tough task, the first game of the season. I believe this follows the real life fixture list, so I didn't realise I would have such a tough start. But Spurs predicted to come third in this year, so it's a great first game of the season as we come forward. And it's balls around a box, and Salah has scored out of nothing. Well, I was carrying on talking as the ball bubbled around the area. And Salah, within 10 minutes, has made it 1-0. A lovely finish. Blast it in. Lloris couldn't do much about it. A great start for the away side. Well, that was the only highlight of the first half. So it comes to half time. We are 1-0 up. One thing I've noticed about this tactic as well is that even though it's controlled possession, in most of the games we've played, even in the friendlies against lesser sides, we haven't actually had the lion's share of possession. As you can see, Spurs are getting the better of it, but one thing we have been great at is not letting the opponents have any shots. As you can see, 6 shots for us in the first half, only 1 for Spurs, none on target for them. So, I suppose, kind of like when I was doing my Man City save, in the sense that we didn't have that much possession in games, but we were just absolutely lethal when it came to scoring goals, and it looks like it might be the same again in this save with Liverpool. Of course, it's only one game, and the players are still getting used to the tactics, so over time that might improve. But nonetheless, a good start, a good first half for us. Let's see if we can close it out now. Okay, first highlight of the second half, and it's with Spurs. Davies on the left hand side, they work it well to Son, Stepanenko, Vertonghen on the edge. Plays it backwards. We're forcing them back well. And El Shaarawy can't get the header, but Keita will pick it up. And he's forced backwards as well. Gomez, a bit of a dodgy ball across the area, but we play it out nicely. And Fabinho now will hopefully find Salah, and he does. Bit isolated, he's had to go on a good run, has found a good ball to Firmino, who plays it out wide now. Klein, space to run into. A good tackle by Davis. Wasn't sure what he was trying to do there, but Son's got space to get away, and he does. Look at the pace. Running at Van Dijk now. Henderson tried to come across, but he plays a ball into Kane, and Harry Kane, with a simple finish, makes it 1-1. We were all a bit of our own undoing there. They broke down the left-hand side, given all the space. Henderson tried to come across and close down, but not to be. So I think I'm going to make a couple of changes, and I think I said I had faith. Oh, it won't let me make a change. There we go. I said I had faith in El Shaarawy. He hasn't really done much for me. So I'm going to bring on Mane. Just working out what to do. Yeah, we'll keep him as a winger. And Firmino hasn't done that well either. So we'll bring on Daniel Sturridge, who in the summer did sign a new contract. He's only got 1 year on his deal left in real life. I didn't realise that. So I extended it, got him another year on his deal. And he's going to be staying around. Of course, he got a pay rise as well, which I was pretty reluctant to give him, but it means he's sticking around. Right, okay, one more change, and I think I'm going to bring on Lallana. I'm going to take off Fabinho. Not much difference in that role, so we'll keep Lallana in the advanced playmaker role. Can we grab a winner? Can we grab a winner? Should I say? As Mane plays Salah in. Oh, good challenge by Dyer, gets it away, and now Spurs, can they break? Dyer with a long ball forward, but it's cut out by Klein. We're working forward now. Fabinho, Keita, Sturridge there, and Sturridge has scored. Well, I thought that I took one of Fabinho off, but apparently the change hasn't gone through. It's going to go through now. Well, Fabinho part of that move, and the substitute striker has come on and made the difference, justifying his new contract perhaps, and it could be a perfect start away from home. 30 seconds left in the game. Plays short goal kick, just trying to waste time. Hopefully, don't mess around with it now, boys. Good ball up, and we work it out well. Lallana up to Sturridge. If he could just hold the ball up, or he goes past one, but Alvaro makes a tackle, and somehow, inexplicably, Salah's missed it. But Oh no, no, okay, Kane's giving the ball away, and now we give the ball away, and Spurs give the ball away. We come forward, but that is it. A 2-1 win at Wembley. It's a great start to the season. Winning away at one of the favourites is certainly a good way to start the season, and we have done just that. Well done, lads. That is a good win for us. Well, we saw there that the substitute made the difference. Daniel Sturridge grabbing a late winner, perhaps staking a claim for his place in the team. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, guys, please do pop a thumbs up on there for you. Subscribe to the channel for plenty more content. One more thing to note as well, I was on a podcast last week, actually, made my podcast debut on the Winging It FM podcast run by Cookie FM and Rampant and Sammy Dudar, who unfortunately wasn't there. But yeah, go and check that out, guys. It was really good fun. It was a really good conversation, and the guys themselves are really good, really fun to talk to. They're really nice guys, and each of them has really good content as well. So I'll put the link to those guys in the description. Make sure you check it out. But yeah, like I said, that's going to be it. So pop a thumbs up on there for me, guys, if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.